So there's an increase of people who just go to church. That is, they sit, they sing, they listen, they say hello to a few friends, and they go home, but they're not really active in their church. But the thing is that every Christian is called to be a part of the church. And not only does God say, hey, you need to be involved, He actually gives you the ability to do it. 1 Corinthians 12 says the Spirit gives spiritual gifts, gifts for the good of the church. Verse 7 says it's for the benefit of the church that you've been given these things. They come from God, they're activated by God, they are given on purpose for you to take and use in the church. Every single Christian, without exception, has at least one spiritual gift that they're called to use for the good of the whole church. Now, 1 Corinthians 12, the illustration there is of the body. It compares the church to a body, and it says every part's necessary in your body. Now, what happens sometimes is that we have parts that break down. I remember years ago, my lower back was really giving me problems and just wasn't working right. And what happened was my whole body got out of alignment. Everything had to work harder and compensate for what wasn't working. Well, that same thing happens in the church. When you who have the spiritual gift to do what you were called to do and what you were placed there to do, when you don't do that, other people have to come in and compensate for that who aren't gifted, who haven't been given the abilities that you've been given by God. And it just throws everything off. It makes it worse. Everybody has to work harder. Everybody has to work out of their own alignment to do what you were called to do. So here's the thing about church. You definitely should get something from church, but you've been called to give something as well. And so you have a part in the church, a part that you've been called to play, and you've been given the talents, abilities, and gifts to play that part. And so that is your part in church. It's not that you sit back and go, well, this is nice, and I'll sing a little bit, I'll listen a little bit, I'll say hi a little bit. It's that you've been called to get in there and do the work with everyone, and everybody has to do it. I've always said this, it's better to have 10 people doing the work of 10 people than it is to have one person doing the work of 10 people. And with everybody using their spiritual gifts, everybody can stay in their lane and do what they've been called to do.